Hi, I'm Caroline Mitchell, Canine Behaviourist at Good Doggy. Snuffle mats, slow feeders and enrichment things have become really very fashionable and highly used recently. These are a great thing if you just want to create something that your dog can play with and spend time with, but I really hate them being used for serving actual meals, and here's why. So to kind of understand what it is I don't like about these things, we need to understand really what the difference is between fight and flight mode and rest and digest mode. So fight or flight mode is when your body is ready and prepared to either defend itself or perform well. So when this happens, your body will fill up with adrenaline and you'll become stronger, much more focused. And you'll be ready basically for whatever the world can throw at you. So, your body prepares for this when you're about to go hunting. If something triggers them and the body thinks it might have to fight or defend itself, or if the body needs to run away. So this is a mode where the body is really full of adrenaline. But one important thing is that during this mode, unessential things are switched off. So, for example, processes like digestion get switched off, and sleeping and toileting can be affected and things like that. So that's a really important distinction between fight and flight mode and rest and digest mode. In rest and digest mode, the digestion comes back on as you'd expect. The dog is able to relax, and all of those other things are now going back to normal again. So the adrenaline subsiding, that focus is going away, the strength, all of that is now starting to settle. So in fight or flight mode, the dog is ready for action, ready for a fight, ready to hunt. In rest and digest mode, that's when they would be eating their food and relaxing. So what does this mean? Your slow feeder or your snuffle mat or your feeding ball, whatever it is that you give to your dog, is a brilliant enrichment toy. But it presents a challenge to the dog. And that's really why it works, because it's hard work for the dog to kind of pick their way through the puzzle or the challenge that the toy or the enrichment feeder has provided. So it does slow them down. But when a challenge is presented to them, then this feels more like hunting. So this can then trigger fight or flight mode. So this searching for food, fighting for food, getting frustrated, getting stressed, all of this promotes that adrenaline. It simulates a problem that your dog has to solve. And we know that food should be eaten in rest and digest mode, but when we provoke the dog through this kind of stress and frustration of trying to get their food, then we are pushing them into fight or flight mode. I kind of think of this like if you were sitting and you had a plate full of food and you have to solve a puzzle for each bite. People are asking you questions, what's 5 times 5? You would tell them 25 and they give you a bite of food and so on. It's like extreme Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's stressful and it's frustrating. So this is not really the best way to feel when you're trying to actually eat your meal. It's great if you're just putting a few little treats in there and your dog's just enjoying the snuffle, enjoying, the little challenge and the puzzle, and they're getting a couple of treats. But that's not the same as trying to eat your entire meal that way. So they will eat the food when they're given to it in this kind of way. But the digestion, of course, is not at its optimum efficiency, because when they're in fight or flight mode, that has been switched off. So the food will take longer to digest, it doesn't absorb as well, they can get indigestion, and it can trigger behaviour problems. It can also trigger aggressive behaviour as well, and even encourage faster eating. Even though they're not able to eat fast, the desire to eat fast has changed, because when adrenaline is present in the body, it makes us do things faster. We should be ready to run away faster and fight harder and things like that. So we're supposed to do things faster and harder, but when we're trying to eat in that mode, then this causes some conflict. You can see that in this video here, where this dog is trying to get the bites of the food, but because the obstacles are in the way, they are not able to get proper mouthfuls. So a nice relaxed feeding time is much, much better for your dog. So this stress and frustration really just leads them to become more reactive and a bit more snappy. Their body is prepared for a fight, but they're trying to eat. So this can then encourage them to be much more guarded of their food. They're likely to be more aggressive because that adrenaline, of course, puts them into fight mode and makes them aggressive. So when they're eating, they're more likely to be aggressive. So removing the slow feeder and giving them different options can even reduce food aggression. But if you have a very fast eating dog, what do you do instead? So we've got a few options. One, you could just scatter the food onto the floor. So they're still not able to take great big huge mouthfuls, but they're not feeling the restriction and the frustration of meeting those obstacles that have been put in the bowl, or trying to pick through the bits on their snuffle mat or whatever. It's important to know that dogs eat fast because they are afraid of losing their food. So also worth having a look at the environment. Is the house very busy when they're trying to eat? Are they getting too few meals? Perhaps they're getting too many snacks. So increasing the number of meals that a dog gets can help, but don't go too far, because if they have a lot of snacks or they earn most of their food through treats and rewards, they may never actually feel like they get a full belly. So it's about 2 or 3 meals is mostly ideal for dogs. They get that nice feeling of being satisfied because the food has actually filled up their belly, but they're not worried about when the next meal is coming. They need perhaps a better routine. Some dogs get out of routine, and this can be caused by lots of things, but actually being fed when they're in that fight or flight mode can really mess up their routine, because actually, although some dogs will eat in that mode, many do, some don't. So perhaps the food goes down at the wrong time and they refuse it, but actually they're still hungry. So this can create some food aggression later on, because when they do finally get fed and they are in that mode, it's not enough because they didn't get fed at the last time, and it's easy to think that they would eat necessarily if they're hungry, but not every dog does, okay? The dog must be relaxed at field times. They must be relaxed about food. They must never worry that somebody might come past and disturb them or take it or whatever. So look at that whole environment, but routine is really important. And one final note just on putting your hand in the dog's food bowl. Lots of people do this. They think that this will help the dog get used to it, but actually what this does is it triggers anxiety in the dog, and anxiety triggers adrenaline, which is fight or flight mode again, and it can force the dog to become aggressive that never really would have done in the first place. Again, if your dog feels threatened, if they feel like their food is perhaps under threat, if they are worried that it might get taken away, or there might not be enough, this is what triggers dogs to eat fast. So stop doing that if that's what you're doing. And I did a video about that more, and you should check that out if you are worried about your dog guarding their food. I talk about why you shouldn't put your hand in your dog's food at more length, and also a bit about routine and how to get your dog back into a better routine to help with food guarding. So that's why I hate snuffle mats and enrichment feeders. I don't really hate them. I just hate them being used to feed meals to dogs. So if that's what you're doing, try some different ways to see if you can get them to slow down. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye bye.